Hello YouTube Street Fighter community, new players, veterans alike. This is Jinsei bringing you back with another What is Lost in Modern Controls. We're gonna skip DJ, Cammy, and Jury for now, mostly just because a lot of new players that will be using the modern control scheme will usually normally gravitate towards Ryu and Ken. I did get a comment asking if I'm gonna do Ken, so I figured I wanted to give them this resource now rather than having to wait for it. So we'll do the Shotos obviously in separate videos. So sorry that I'm doing that skip for anybody looking forward to DJ, Cammy, and or Jury next. So let's do Ryu. I did play a bit, like a butt ton of Ryu in the demo, so I would definitely have a pretty strong opinion on whether or not he's better in Classic or better in Modern. Depending on the normals that he loses, and we'll get there when we get there. So we'll start off as always with specials. Neutral special is going to be Hadouken. That is the heavy version of the move, so fastest traveling. He does have access to these and normal inputting as well, so that's great. And especially with the slow Hadouken, that's nice to like throw it, and then if you expect someone to jump, then you do a Dragon Punch or Shoryuken. Which is his next special. Forward and special is the heavy version of Shoryuken. This is also still possible as an input as well. So you have access to light, medium, and heavy DPs. Down special is going to be Donkey Kick. This is a move that he does lose. Normally this is a quarter circle forward or half circle. I forget, but either way it's done with kicks. Because of special input overlap, it is not available to you in Modern. I would definitely say the medium one is nice for that control and that carry. The light one is nice for confirms. So normally, you can always do things like, if you were to do standing light kick, you can always do like that or like into a spin kick or something. And a very late hitting Shoryuken. But you can do like a light kick into light donkey kick. It's a nice little hit confirm, pushes them back and sets you up to charge Denjin. We'll go over what that does later. But the thing about the heavy donkey kick is that it does have a special punish counter state to juggle. It does this tumble. That's a new one in Street Fighter 6, that type of punish state. So you can definitely do stuff like this into his level 3 in the corner. And that is the one move that you can't combo into this like normally. Back heavy punch is comboable, so you can do things like simple things like this, and it lets you juggle it in the corner. So I think for some pretty nice chunky easy damage in the corner, like if you got to jump in on a fireball or something, even just doing something simple like this, it's more than enough to do a considerable amount of damage, and like kind of have that swag thing. So you can definitely do stuff like that to get your comboable stuff. That doesn't work. So I don't think it's mid-screen. It's not a big loss. Corner, you do lose out on damage, but I think if you want to get into like the mechanics of doing your drive rush combos and stuff like that, it's not that big of a loss, but it definitely helps in damage. So I think that's kind of a big deal that he loses heavy donkey kick, especially for the corner situations. Next up is the last one for the grounded normals, or the grounded specials, is back special, which is going to be his medium Tatsumaki. This is good. This is a nice move. However, we're going to go back into resetting, going into the corner. This is gonna be another like very specific niche reason for this, and that's the fact that heavy Tatsu side swaps. So when you're cornered, I mean, you could definitely do something like hit confirming, just something basic, and doing medium to push you away from the corner. But to turn the tides of the corner, especially if you get like a raw, like you're poking and you get a punish counter, you get like a raw hit or something, you can definitely just do heavy Tatsu to get out of the corner. And then now the sides are reversed. And the nice thing about heavy Tatsumaki as well is that if you combo it in the corner already and you have someone cornered and do heavy spin kick instead, you won't side switch. So you'll always stay in front. So that's nice. But I think it's a loss, again, to get out of the corner. But that's a really specific situation. There's definitely other ways to corner carry by using meter. But for the meterless way to get out, I think it's a big loss. He has one air special, which is jumping forward. It's going to be a spin kick, you know. Depending on how you see it, I think it's a nice move to have. Depending on the timing on when it hits, you can usually get super. I'm pretty bad at timing it. But now to go over the specials that are not part of the special input button. We have two. So as we mentioned, we have Hadoken and Shoryuken as normal classic inputs. But we lose spin kick and donkey kick. And the reason being is that the donkey kick move overlaps with Hadoken, and that's normally done with kicks on classic. And then there's the quarter circle back and kick for the spin kick. We get Hoshogeki instead. So this is new to Ryu in this game. It's a nice move. Definitely complements very well with heavy punch, or crouching heavy punch, excuse me. I'm over here trying to show combos already when we haven't even like finished discussing everything else. But this goes well with the heavy because it does give you a juggle state in it. But the second move that you don't get in special is Denjin Charge, which is down down. You know, a very simple input, so it makes sense that it's not part of the initial special. You don't. This is whatever strength you want to do it with. It doesn't have to be light. It can be light. It can be heavy. It can be medium. The recovery doesn't change. Excuse me. But this changes Ryu's level 1 super, normal Hadokens, and Hoshogeki. So Denjin Charge will turn into Denjin Hadoken, or not Denjin Hadoken, but like a special 2-hitter. So normally you have to do EX to get 2 hits, but with Denjin Charge, Ryu can get 2 hits, let him do follow-ups in the corner. You know, even in mid-screen, when you pull this off and you get you get the hit off, you can get another one. Level 1 super. He does say, you know, Denjin Hadoken does a little bit more damage. Oops. One more time. And last, like I mentioned, the big important one is Hoshogeki. Obviously, normally this happens with light and medium. Heavy's the only one that juggles, but it is a slower startup. But Denjin Charge actually powers up Hoshogeki, so you can definitely do any type of hit confirm. Crouching medium punch doesn't seem to be the one, so I think it's standing medium punch. Yep. So yeah, that powers up Hoshogeki and lets you get a juggle possibility mid-screen. So you can do something like this, you know, things like that. And another thing that it does adjust the level 2. We don't normally go over supers in this video because there's really no, you know, outside of just the simple input and the damage being different, we don't really discuss them, but we'll go over one real quick one. EX or a couple different things. So spending the meter on Hoshogeki, you do need to do a traditional input of the quarter circle back and 2 punch or 2 strengths to get the EX, and it does cause a crumple state. So they are juggable in this state. So that's a pretty big important one to have in terms of Hoshogeki, especially with the way it works in terms of the super as well. So his level 2 super is like this super Hoshogeki that you can do like this, or you can charge it. It is 2, like 1, like you hear 1, 2. That's what it does. And Denjin Charge, Jesus, I am bad at these inputs sometimes. And Denjin Charge, it does change up the super as well. I believe it wall bounces. No, it does that crumple, excuse me. But yeah, for something like this, you can combo into that. Like my muscle memory screws up with me here, so you can do 1, 2, and then let go, and it does the same type of crumple state. So Denjin Charge is a pretty nice and semi-important thing to have for Ryu. So keep that in mind. But let's finally go into normals. I told you that the shorter ones will be a little bit longer. So we got standing light punch, crouching light kick, And then holding auto will give us standing light kick. This standing light kick is always nice to have, because it's definitely one of those ones where you can confirm things into. So that's a nice button to have, and it's also for target combo purposes. I think no, that's medium light. I'm thinking of something else. That's right. Yeah, I'm thinking of classic. Target combos work different, but he does have all his lights. Obviously, when you chain, his light punch comes out there. So that's pretty nice. The mediums we're gonna go into air normals as well with this one. So kind of a different order. But for jumping, his light punch is there. No light kick. Mediums, we have standing medium punch, which is pretty much your go-to for all your special confirms. Your drive rush confirms. So nice to have this one. He has his overhead with forward medium. Crouching medium kick, which again, the traditional low forward fireball. And holding down auto will give us medium punch. So that's also very good normal to have for confirming. So they're all there. The only thing that he does lose for his medium air normal is he actually loses jumping medium punch, which I think is kind of a big deal because it does cause like a juggle state. Once again, switching over to classic Ryu again. Like you lose this, you know, and that's just like a very basic way to show you what's lost. You can do super. The timing is a little weird for me because the super doesn't have different speeds anymore depending on the button. There you go. So I think that's a loss as well. So far, Ryu doesn't have some important things that he usually has in classic. That's a big loss, in my opinion. Now to end with the heavies. Heavy Fierce, special cancelable move, probably one of his best ways to get pokes with. Crouching heavy is crouching fierce. Forward and heavy is his hop kick. Back and heavy is his back axe kick, also special cancelable. Holding down auto is the solar plexus strike. So this is his forward fierce and classic. Very good advancing normal, +1 on block. Very glad he has this. But we also are going to be and it's jumping heavy rather than his jumping roundhouse. To go back to classic again, he does lose whatever on the costume. He does lose back heavy punch. This is important because this kind of it goes hand in hand with donkey kick. So normally, outside of like maybe punish counter frames, since all your drive rush normals on hit give you 4 more, they share like punish counter frame properties, as well as hit stun. This is normally how you would cancel it in classic, but for modern, but for classic, this will always combo into heavy donkey kick. Even if you do something like this, it always works. Back heavy punch is nice for like getting combo ability for your drive rush confirms. So it's a big loss as well, and he just doesn't have that in modern. That normal is gone. So or that special normal is just gone. So that's a big deal. At least I think it's a big deal. So that's Ryu in classic. Losing that back heavy, losing heavy Tatsu for side switching, losing heavy donkey kick for corner juggles. In some eyes might not be a big deal, but I personally think it is. The heavy donkey kick being very comboable in the corner for juggles to get those extended states without using meter. That's the important phrase. Without using OD meter. You can do more damage with drive rush combos, but with very basic, like I jumped in and I got a hit kind of situations, excuse me, that donkey kick in the corner is very good for juggle and getting some nice damage. I personally think Ryu is better off in classic with those normals going away, Having everything else is great. It's definitely a character that I would say like I've said for other characters, great stepping stone for learning and then needing to go into learning him through classic. He just loses key normals and a key air normal for juggles that he just doesn't get in classic mode. So I am of the opinion that Ryu is better off in classic than modern. Get the building blocks down and then build the then do a real building, I guess. It's like put the building blocks down and then work up from there. So that's going to be it for Ryu. We're going to do Ken next in a separate video. Thank you so much for watching. This is a bit of a long one compared to the other ones. Like I said, I have more experience with the Shotos in this game than the other ones so far. Feel free to leave a like, leave a comment, leave anything I might have missed. Share this video with your friends. Share it on the Twitters. Share it on the Facebooks. Share it anywhere. Share it on streams, whatever. We'll see you in the next video with Ken. Until then, take care, guys. Have an awesome day.